In its simplest form, coaching is just a conversation. But that probably doesn't do justice to the dynamic that actually happens. It really is an individual development program for the leader, really designed to benefit them, to empower and tap into their potential. It's based on the organisation's goals, on the leader's goals, and will be drawn from a range of data which can include psychometric data and also 360 feedback from key stakeholders. It's a totally confidential conversation, and the coach, the coachee and the organisation work in partnership to really achieve the goals that are required. And those can be performance, behavioural, emotional, whatever the particular focus is for that coaching assignment. Coaching provides the context for an open dialogue. Very often they say that a coach can be the ideal sounding board. They don't have any internal baggage. There isn't often the dynamic or the resistance to talk openly to a coach. It's always goal orientated, and those goals can be performance, they can be behavioural, they can be emotional. In essence, it really is about raising the self-awareness of the executive, because with increased self-awareness, they then can be aware of options that are open to them, and maybe choices will present themselves that they would not have normally considered. So change behaviours will start to be seen. Challenge and support is a fundamental part of the coaching process, and beliefs and attitudes may well be challenged quite hard, but done in a respectful and a supportive way to really help the executive achieve the goals that they want and the organisational performance to really move both them and their teams forward. I like to think of a continuum between tell and ask. And if on the one end, a mentor is somebody who tells, they share their experience and their knowledge, then the other end is a coach who asks to actually get the individual to find their own solutions. There's a lovely succinct way of putting this. Maybe a mentor has the right answers, maybe a coach asks the right questions. To get the best out of coaching, the leader really has to take accountability and responsibility for their goals and their learning. A coach can provide the context, can provide the relationship and the support and the dynamic, ask all those great challenging questions. But at the end of the day, it's the leader who has to implement the actions and make the required changes. So responsibility really does rest with the leader, because they're the people who are actually going to effect the change. A peer-to-peer relationship based on trust, openness and respect, a clear development plan, and constant feedback as progress is made. New behaviours will start to emerge, and you'll be listened to both cognitively and emotionally, okay, to really get an understanding of what your requirements are and also what your challenges are. Leadership and development in leadership is a journey. The coaching can actually help you unravel the complexity of that journey so that it becomes clearer and new choices and new options become apparent to you. You should not expect to be judged, and the dynamic should not be prescriptive. You'll not be given solutions. The coach will help you explore options and perspectives for you to make the choices that are relevant and right for you and your organisation. The relationship will be supportive and safe. It will not be judgmental. But coaching to be really effective, there has to be trust. And that trust is based on confidentiality. So over and above the agreed goals, the individual conversations that take place between the coach and the coachee are totally confidential. No feedback is given on individual conversations or individual topics that are discussed. That has to be really fundamental for there to be true trust between the two parties. The only time that any information would be fed back to an organisation is if a range of people were being worked with and there started to emerge themes that would really be valuable to the organisation to understand. And then and only then, with the agreement of those parties involved, would themes be fed back to the organisation. Everything else is totally confidential and private between the coach and the coachee. Yes, absolutely. At the end of any coaching assignment, we would always look to understand what's worked in the coaching, what could have been even better, what the achievement towards the stated goals has been, and what the overall experience of the coaching dynamic was.